Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Fade in.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
No! She's not supposed to be talking about...
I have no idea what's going on, Dre, but it's fun.
Talk about that!
He's having a breakdown. Somebody call Johnny Cochran.
I've been told by lore people for this stuff for House of the Dragon for the books. Yeah, Rhaenyra, she was into dining at the Clam Slam. She was into that.
Clam Slam.
She slammed clams. She dined at the oyster bar. She was all into that.
It's gonna be some freak mess. You know, it's gonna be some weird freaky deaky. Like, he became one with Reed Richards for one day and bust a fat nut that one moment, and now
let me do it myself here. Let me get it up real quick. Hey, shut up. Shut up. I didn't mean it like that, you perverts.
Yeah, you're here to bang women.
Hey, my name is a pimp named Drees, and I believe I've misplaced some merchandise at this residence. Lord Jesus and the shepherds, where is Daddy's money? I will not hesitate for one solitary second to put hands on somebody if I don't have my monies.
Bella Downsy fingered Dora the Explorer on HBO.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic Park didn't eat more out of Lilo's pie.
oh
Fuck.
Two things. One thing is guaranteed to happen, Adam. I'm going to get naked. Either way, either from celebration or depression, I'm getting naked in some way, shape, or form. It's happening. Period. Not up for debate. It's happening.
I'm still jerking off in front of my console.
You know how much I love Snorlax? I'm gonna prove it to you. These are my slippers. All right, Snorlax slippers. I don't give a crap who knows. I'm a grown man and I'm rocking Snorlax slippers. I don't give a crap.
Listen, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. The only reason the world hasn't probably imploded is because of porn. Because you take away the porn, World War IV happens. We're going to skip over World War III. We're going right to World War IV. All right? We need release. We need relaxation. We need things. Whatever scratches your itch, whatever gets you going, whatever gets a rise out of you. As long as you keep it to yourself and you're not hurting anybody else, especially kids, more power too. I don't care if you're a goddamn furry. I just want to see it. But people need their release to stay calm, to stay relaxed. All right? You take that away, enjoy an actual revolution where people of all sides don't agree on anything. We'll come together and say, no, I'm not living under this world where I can't touch myself. All right? No, this is the reality we live in. It's just there. And as long as nobody's getting hurt, everybody's having a good time. Just because you are either a frigid or an erectile dysfunctional is not a problem that I care about. All right?
Don't try to razzle dazzle me.
Why in the world is there some gay white man wearing these see-through shoes?
Again, I went to go see Deadpool last year, and Captain America trailer played, and somebody thought that was Hawkeye.
I mean, it is.
No, it's I hang on, brain. But hey, I need a restart. Hang on.
That Dermy comment broke us both because I heard Falcon too.
No, I heard Hawkeye.
You heard Hawkeye, but it's like there's three all wrongs right there.
I heard Hawkeye.
What?
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
And these tool bags wouldn't know quality if it walked up and motorboated them. Because, you're going to motorboat quality.
Wait, what?
Quality boobs. You want to motorboat quality boobs.
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
Once again, shame is a word I don't understand. So I get by somehow. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the round table where we're going to try and teach you stuff today. We're going to try and help you understand the woes of the world through amusing clips and witticisms and things that are going to make you shake your head and ask, why are we watching this? What is wrong with these people? But you're here anyway, despite that. Hi, Jed. You feeling better today?
I'm feeling a lot better. Good night's sleep can really rejuvenate you. And great topics, great show. I'm excited to be here, but I do want to let you know about something I found out this week, Adam. I think you'll find this hilarious. And your intro a moment ago reminded me of it.
Okay.
So John Pertwee actually had an interesting career outside of Doctor Who. He didn't only do appliance ads talking about women's breasts, which is iconic. He also
beautiful.
had a short-lived career as a country folk singer and released an album called Songs for Vulgar Boatmen, where he did trashy sailor songs about women's breasts, like the
trashy sea shanties.
It's trashy sea shanties.
Yes!
That's he had a whole album that's like the buxom country maid. A maid is like a ship, and just random shit about
Pertwee continues to climb the ranks of all-time great doctors.
That's why he's my favorite classic doctor. Of course, Tom Baker's the GOAT. He made the show really iconic.
But Pertwee was a man. He was a man. He's a Chad, and it's awesome.
I think he's the only real Chad, except for maybe Peter Capaldi, to ever play the role. Because all the other men are a little effeminate, and it works. It's supposed to be that way. But yeah, they're the most masculine doctors.
Oh
in my
man,
opinion.
that is incredible. So the third Doctor made a whole album of raunchy sea shanties.
Yes,
I dig it.
Shanties.
I dig it.
I thought that would make you happy.
That does make me happy. That brings a light to my life that I didn't know I needed.
You should listen to them. They're actually hilarious. He's a terrible singer, and that makes it so much better.
Makes it even better.
He just wanted to sing about titties.
Oh, I'm clipping that one right away. 8 minutes in. I'm clipping that one. All right, guys.
What are you clipping?
I love it. You just want to sing about titties. You randomly saying you just want to sing about titties. I'm going to use it. I am a boob hound. I am not ashamed to say I like boobs. I like boobs. I've said it before and I'll always say it. The only reason majority of men get out of bed every day is because it might be one step closer to seeing boobs in that day. Especially, I mean, if you're married, you're going to get there a lot faster than some of us. But
don't even need to get up.
Yeah, you don't need to get up. You just roll over. Hi, they're there. No, I'm on a journey. I'm single. Every day
is an adventure.
Every day is an adventure, or it's another step in the adventure that I will accomplish something that will get me on this road closer to seeing boobs again.
Sir Adam and the quest for the holy cups.
There's 2 of them. Yes, there's 2 of them, and I will use both hands and my face. I will not be ashamed of my love for boobs. I will not.
You shouldn't.
I shouldn't be. Hi, Dragon Lady. Do you want to go home yet?
Hi. Wondering what I've just walked into today. I'm very glad that I'm not drinking any water or anything at the moment because I want to choke on it.
It's not my problem. It's not my problem.
That's all right. I'm not a snowflake. I'm gonna be here.
Okay. Let me make sure. Let me check on something real quick. Okay. I don't know if Dre's going to join us today. I don't know, but he has the ultimate excuse at the moment. So Dre shows up. We'll love it. He'll join in. He'll probably pop in a little bit. He as he creeps away. Make sure everything's okay. But anyway, so hail and howdy, everybody in the chat. We hope you're having a great Sunday. It is August 3rd. Summer is almost over. If you got kids, they're going back to school. So maybe, just maybe, you get some quiet time. I hope everybody's having a good day. Hello, La Goddess, one of my mods. He is a bot, but treat him like a human. It makes him feel better. Hail to Frank. How you doing, Frank? Hail, Dom. Dom is back from vacation, and already Dermy's hitting on him. You hear what Dermy said yesterday?
No.
They were talking about playing a game. Sorry, Dom, this is not about you. It's about Dermy. You know this is about Dermy. So they're talking about playing a game later yesterday evening. And he goes, I'll see you later, Dommy. And he realized it half a second later what he had said. He just faced and went, oh, man.
Oops.
So look out, Dom. Dermy's looking for you. And I was in the kitchen and I quickly finished what I was doing and came back in here, went to the DM room, said, Dermy said, see you later, Dommy, around 2 hours, 40 minutes on his live stream in the DM room. So it's been clipped. It was already clipped when I got back later that night. It's been clipped. It has been immortalized. You got to be careful. It was terrifying. I watched it live. It was terrifying here. Dom's breaking out in a cold sweat right now. He's breaking out a cold sweat right now. Ugh, here it comes. Dermy's shifted. So anyway, listen.
Just wait till he comes after you, Adam.
Oh, dude, he's been making gay overtures to me for the past like 3 weeks. It's creepy as hell. Like, hey, Adam. And it's like, no, stop. Just stop. Listen, with all the streaming that we all do, especially me, I'm literally streaming every day. I have stopped trying to couch my words and not get caught in a bad clip. I've stopped. I mean, Daily Dive alone has filled up an entire folder for Kratos and Weasel. They have an entire folder of me saying the gayest shit in the world. All because of they make me watch stuff and I'm going to react to it. And I'm not thinking. So I've given up. They even got me saying ooh woo finally. All right. They finally got me saying ooh woo. There, I did it again. So
you're very good at it.
Shut up.
How are you an anime fan and you've never said that? Even just to be like, what is that?
Because it's not, I don't watch that kind of anime. I don't watch the girly anime. I don't do that.
Not a Sailor Moon fan?
Oh, I am there's no ooh wooing in Sailor Moon.
No?
Don't you besmirch Sailor Moon. I'm an old school Moonie. Don't you do that.
Sailor Pluto's got it going.
Listen, the outer planet soldiers, they all got it going on. Yeah.
My wife's a fan, so I've walked in on her watching it a few times.
Rachel's a Moonie. That's excellent. Rachel understands then. You like the old school stuff. And I like Crystal because Crystal was a more accurate adaptation of the manga. That's why I like Crystal. I still love the old school stuff. It had some better moments that they adapted better, but the Crystal was a more accurate adaptation of the manga. So I appreciate Crystal. And they actually either now or maybe it's even this month, they're finally releasing Stars if they didn't already, the final part of it. I've been waiting years to finish it up. I am an old school Moonie. I will never apologize for that. Never, ever. But no, I'm moving on. I'm not going to keep going down this hole anymore, ladies. Anyway, all right. So we got a good show for you guys today. Hail howdy to the chat. We hope you guys are having fun. If you are here and not chatting, we're happy to have you with us this afternoon. Hit that like button. It's a simple task. It shows that you love me. Don't you love me? Don't answer that. We're going to have some fun
like
today.
Jeremy loves you.
Dude, why?
You're the one who asked if a bunch of men in the chat love you.
There's at least maybe one woman in there somewhere. I have a small percentage of women. I mean, Kale was in there, but she's married. So I can't ask her to love me. This is getting weird. Look what you've done. You've made it
done
weird.
This to yourself.
I have done nothing to myself. I'm trying to climb out of this hole. You keep throwing dirt on me.
It's your hole.
Anyway, we have got to get away from this. This is getting worse. This is like this is a trap. Where's the clip? I know I still have it on here somewhere. Do I? I think I do. Where is it? Yeah.
It's a trap.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here. All right. We got a good show for you guys today. We're going to talk box office. It's our Sunday privilege, and we got all the box office for you guys. It is wild what's going on here. Because
We're prepared with receipts because everyone keeps forgetting the reality of the situation and lying about the two biggest movies in theaters right now. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. There's a lot of lies. So we're going to talk about we're going to educate you guys. There he is. We're going to educate people, Dre, today on gross versus net profit.
We're
gonna
education.
Educate. How you doing?
I'm good. Sorry, I'm late. Had some
it's
dad
fine.
stuff to do.
You changing diapers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was disgusting.
Yeah. You got here just in time. We just finished a very inappropriate segment, and you didn't have to be a part of it.
Okay.
So you're lucky. You're lucky. You're here to save us. Yeah.
Thank
so
the Lord.
we're gonna be educating everybody on gross versus net, what the box office really means, lies, truths, and propaganda concerning Superman and Fantastic Four. And then amidst all that, there'll be other conversations to be had about MCU, stuff like that. We can even reference the I feel like the unnecessary squeeing over the Tom Holland Spider-Man suit. It's kind of unnecessary. It's just a Spider-Man suit.
Well, it's the same Spider-Man suit we saw at the end of No Way Home. It's not a new suit. It's confirmation that they're using the suit that everyone loved, which is great, but it's not bring the house down cheering news. It's, hey, good job.
But they
appreciate that news.
They're all flipping out for anyway. So we might get into that, and then we're gonna have a good old-fashioned discussion. We are at the end of the woke era. We understand all this. It's over. There are lingering dregs, lingering things. They're kind of creeping in. They're gonna still try and poison the well a little bit.
Stuff that's been in production for a while.
Yeah, you don't want to drink that well water. It's still not clean. But we're going to talk about that. But then the bigger question, what happens next? What happens next for us, for everybody in dealing with this stuff? And I feel pretty good because in relation to Superman, Fantastic Four, those conversations had nothing to do, for the most part, with the exception of a little bit of Sue Storm and here and there, and a couple things in Superman, not really. We discussed those movies on the merits of the movie. Production, direction, writing, narrative, acting, performances, casting. The woke agenda, the woke conversation didn't creep into our overall conversation. So we're going to see, I know we are, but are other people, is the sphere in general, is the world in general able to move on and go back to discussing things without making it crazy? And we will, of course, because of that, we're not really talking about, we will reference Sydney Sweeney, her boobs and her ass in jeans. We will reference that because that's part of the conversation. So either way, I don't have any warm-ups today, unfortunately. I tried to find one. I couldn't find anything. We're going to dive right in as soon as I'm done scratching my head. That's good. That's good stuff. I got a back scratcher. It's incredible.
Nice.
I got a package of back scratchers. It's this beautiful thing. I use it. It's great. It's great. It's fantastic. You have to understand the glory of a good back scratcher. I don't know. I didn't know what I was missing all these years. It's fantastic. I'm tired of hurting my left arm to try and reach around. Box office.
You're doing it to yourself. I am not responsible for the degeneracy of this stream.
I warned you I was in a weird headspace before we started the stream. I warned you. I'm in a weird headspace. So, yeah. New clip reel next week. All right, box office. Let's start with a good surprise, something that we knew was coming. And even though I predicted way in the year, I take an L on this one. I said, who's going to care about this? Well, apparently people do care. And it is a good thing that people are caring about the Naked Gun 2025. I've heard nothing but happy things about this. I don't want to say necessarily good things, but people seem pleased with it. Its budget, I looked it up, is $42 million. So it needs about $205 million for break even right now. It was a small marketing campaign, so it might actually be a little bit less. They didn't do much with it. Just the trailers really and stuff and posters like this. So probably had a really small marketing campaign. So it's probably somewhere break even is between $80 and $100 million. I feel safe saying that. And it's all fair. and it's off to an okay start domestically for what it is. It's just a comedy that, from what I understand, makes fun of everything and hits most of its jokes. Has anybody seen it?
I have not seen it, but I fully intend to now, specifically because of the Liam Neeson clip. I don't know if you guys heard about that. It was a New York showing, I believe. He walked in there.
He appeared out of nowhere. Yeah.
And he promised that there was no Pedro Pascal in the movie. Making a Pedro Pascal joke is enough for me to want to support you. So I think I'm going to go see this movie specifically because of that joke. So it's purely to blame for a Pedro Pascal joke. But I have been hearing good things about it, so I'm genuinely interested. I only watched the Naked Gun first two movies for the first time this month, in the last couple weeks, actually. So I'm interested in the franchise, got some new excitement for it. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm definitely gonna watch it at some point, whether or not it's on streaming or right away. But this movie should succeed, I think, based on what people are saying. It's inoffensive. It's still funny for most people. I know there are people, I saw one review saying it's boomer humor. Why is it boomer humor? I hate it. So that actually makes me
that means it. That means it's good. All right. Well, all right. Well, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that makes it. If it's boomer humor, that means, hey, okay, it's written to appeal to a broad audience, because boomer humor still works.
Boomer humor still works, but it's still, the Naked Gun fan base is mostly boomers. And if any young people are fans of it today, that means that they enjoy that type of humor. So of course, go for your target audience. If it weren't boomer humor, if it was Gen Z crap, this movie would be an utter disaster, but it should be boomer humor. It's moronic to say it's bad because it did what it was supposed to do.
Exactly. So I hope it succeeds, because if it succeeds with now $42 million still feels like a large budget, but maybe I don't understand what a comedy budget really is
this
anymore.
Is an action comedy. There's still stunts. There's still gunplay. There's still, I mean, not a crazy amount necessarily, but the first Naked Gun film had a massive car chase scene that was utterly ridiculous. It's a little bit more than a normal comedy. So 40 million actually feels pretty good to me.
Yeah, so this, if this succeeds, and it seems like it will to an extent, at the very least it'll have it's people like it. It should be a step towards a return to normalcy for Hollywood. Learn this lesson. Make low budget comedies. Don't try to hit a home run every time. Just recoup your win. Make a bunch of these for real cheap, and suddenly maybe you've made $200 to $300 million on nothing budgets for small movies, a bunch of small movies.
And some of those small movies, they might start out as nothing comedies, but turn out to be gold, and the cream will rise to the top.
Always.
Right. Yep, exactly. So learn the lesson, and I hope they learn this. And good luck for Naked Gun. I personally am not interested, but I want it to succeed because it's my turn to honestly. Now, let's just review again. Dinosaurs win. Far from what I thought they would win, as we've been saying, but substantial win. It made money.
Absolutely.
On its budget of $180 million with a very small marketing campaign. So it has made several $100 million in profit, because that's how it works. The gross looks nice, but its net is at least $300 to $400 million at this point.
Because it was cheaper to make this movie than fucking Superman.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to get into that in a bit, because now we don't need to talk about Jurassic World. We're just saying it wins, hands down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's up for any debate. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Superman, I believe week four. $551 million global.
That's a wrap.
316 domestic. 235 international.
Yeah, it's over.
Weren't we talking last week about it crossing 500 as being the big thing last week? It made 50 million in a week worldwide. Yeah. The people, I saw someone tweeting that it looks like the professionals are saying it's projected to make 680 million at this point. That's
bullshit.
Laughable. It'd be a miracle to get to 600 at this point.
Look at this. It's making now 2 to 4 million during the regular week.
Oh, we're gonna see some 1 million this week.
I mean, it's they've taken it almost out of. It'll have lost 1,000 theaters by next week. So math works in a certain way. The less numbers coming in, the less cumulative amount you're going to get.
That's correct.
And here we are. If you only made 13 million domestically this week, you're probably only going to make about 6 to 7 million next week. And international's been a disaster. So, Jed, we're in my window. 550 to 650.
Nailed it.
It might break 600 if they leave it in, because there were rumors it was going to have a digital release on August 15th. I'm hearing that that's been debunked, but it could still release on streaming very soon. It still could, but the fact that though we're down to single digit dailies, this is done. And let me bring this up now. So let me switch this up because we're going to talk about Superman. So let's talk about the truth about Superman right now.
Well, and while you're looking that up, as much as it pains me to say this, Man of Steel is still the highest grossing Superman film. There's a lot of people claiming that it's not, because the domestic of the new Superman was above Man of Steel, and they're acting like that's the number that matters. Of course, it's the overall that matters the most. But yeah, there's a lot of lies going around that it beat Man of Steel. No, it did not beat Man of Steel. Man of Steel got 670. Are they getting close to that? Yeah, they might break 600, like you mentioned, but it's not going to beat Man of Steel at this point. I don't even know if it should. Man of Steel has good moments. It has some value to it.
Here's the thing, and also a lot of people who are defending this movie want to talk about, but they want to say, but inflation. No, inflation matters.
Inflation, absolutely.
Man of Steel is over a decade ago. A different economy. Tickets were cheaper. Money wasn't as worthless as it is now. The dollar was stronger.
I wish we could look more at ticket sales data. I wish like the number of tickets sold was a metric that we could see. It's really hard to find that for most movies. And
they don't do it anymore. They don't do it because, to your point, a ticket sale would tell the truth. We know they got to this 551 million with less people.
100%.
That's truth. So we look at this right now. The truth about Superman. They are, as we said, talking about how Jed just said it. It is the largest comic book. Superman would likely be the largest gross comic book movie of 2025 for the first time for DC since 2008.
Which isn't a high bar considering the movies that have come out this year.
Disaster bar. You should be ashamed of themselves. Who posted this garbage? Who posted this
I just grabbed. It's all the same. I just used
a lot of people are saying it.
It's everybody. I just used them as my example.
This is the most misleading headline of all time. First of all, 2008 is when the MCU began. So let's just get that out the way. And in 2008, The Dark Knight came out, which made gajillions of dollars. So you sit there and then you say, oh, in 2025, DC finally gets a win. Your win is still a loss. I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Because
the MCU is dead. It's dead.
Oh, we're gonna get to Fantastic Four in a bit, and we'll show you how
Adam,
dead it is. Yeah.
So Adam, here's the thing. What they're saying is, before the MCU's conception, all the way until the MCU's death, that is now DC actually gets a win.
DC couldn't get a win in that time.
In what? 17 years?
Yeah.
And the win is $500 million. It's not even a
551.
550. Okay, 550. But still, like, this is pathetic if this is where we're winning. And yeah, our competition is Captain America without Captain America, C-list Suicide Squad ripoff, and Fantastic Four, whatever the hell you want to compare that to. Of course, it beat those.
Yeah.
What are we even talking about?
Because now here's the truth. They want to claim and on most of these, not this one, but on most of these things, they say with a budget of $225 million. That's if you believe James Gunn. This is a Hollywood Reporter article from June. We covered it back then. Go back in the stream. First week of June, we used this article. Last year, documents filed by Superman production team with the Ohio government seeking incentives listed the gross budget of the highly anticipated July film as $363.8 million. When the number was reported, director James Gunn said, no, it's not. It's 225 after incentive tax breaks. We don't know that. We don't know if that is true. They say it's true, but on the tax documents, it says 363. That is the real number. We don't know what they really got from the taxes. We don't.
What's more legitimate, tax documentation or some guy on Twitter saying, yeah, it's totally this? Which is more legitimate? Which would hold up in a court of law as being the real one?
The receipt.
Obviously, the receipt. The thing that went through a lot of processes that a lot of people had eyes on. I'm sure it's signed by a bunch of people. It's stamped with everything that needs to be stamped. That's a legitimate legal document versus a tweet. And if anyone came after James Gunn and like forced him to reveal the truth, he could try to weasel his way out of it and say, oh, no, that was the initial budget before reshoots and after all this. But I don't even think it matters that much talking about their budget or the real budget, because it still doesn't make money. Even with that 225, we know the marketing was what, 200
right
million?
Here says it right here. Yet one longtime financier says the 363 million figure isn't correct, and sources say, "What the 3 isn't correct? Isn't incorrect." Sorry, I misspoke there. See, I'm right when I say that. And sources say DC and its parent could spend as much as $200 million on the global marketing campaign compared to the 150 million for an all-audience summer tempo. So the marketing budget was between 150 and 200 million, as we've been saying this entire time. So you add 200, we'll say 200 to 363. That's $563 million. We could just multiply it by 2 because we know the marketing. That's $1 billion break even.
That's
and
correct.
even with their numbers, it's an 850 break even. So even with their number that they're throwing around, acting like crossing 225 million at the box office was enough to break even because they don't understand gross versus net, like we're going to go into. But it doesn't matter the real numbers, James Gunn's numbers. It's a failure by all possible metrics and evaluations. It's only in warped fantasies where people intentionally lie to themselves that this film could be seen as anything other than a massive flop.
Flop is the word, because now let's understand gross versus net. Gross is what they always talk about. Here it is grossed $551 million globally currently. Dre, gross just means it's made all this money. But that's just the money it's taken in. That's not the net profit, right?
Exactly. It's simple mathematics. If I spent $10 on a basket of apples, and then let's say there's 10 apples, so $1 each. So 10 apples, I spent $10. I then sell each of these apples for $2. Now I'm bringing in $20. So I've doubled the money. However, my net would only be $10 because I spent 10, made 20. So subtract the 10 from the 20, I have 10.
And you've just broken even. That's a break even.
And that's a break even. Me selling double at what the apples cost is a break even based on the money that I paid. The principle remains the same.
And then you add another step into that, which there's third parties involved in the distribution of this film. So you buy those apples for $10, and then you give those apples to your nephew to sell on the street corner, and your nephew takes half of those profits. So you come back with nothing.
And your nephew is the movie theater.
In this analogy.
Exactly.
Because the average movie theater takes between 40 and 60% of the box office. So we average that out to 50 across the board worldwide. It's a little bit more internationally, closer to that 60, a little closer to that 40 domestically, but 50% is just a really easy estimation number. So that overall, cut it in half and then apply it to the expenses.
And then you got to understand, certain deals with certain countries internationally, they keep more, especially talking about China. They keep 80%.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Of what's made there. So you don't really make a profit in China. So look at it like this. So Superman 551. If we use the numbers we just laid out for you with its $1 billion, its ceiling is around 600, 650 with what's left. It's going to be if they leave it in longer, it might break 600 million. It might even get around 650, which is my window.
It would have to stay in for another 2 months, 3 months to get 650, but another month I could definitely see 600 being possible.
The point is, though, if its break even is $1 billion and it doesn't make it, that means it made no net profit. In fact, it loses $300 to $400 million for Warner Brothers, DC
Absolutely.
Studios. That is where when we say something is going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, this is where we get that from. If it doesn't reach the break-even point that we've been able to calculate based upon estimations and numbers that we have available to us, that is how we get the numbers that they lose. It's that simple. So Superman, right now, even if it gets to 650, it will still lose several $100 million for DC and Warner Brothers. But they're going to pretend it's a success because James Gunn is safe. As we talked about a couple weeks ago, he's come out. They've already said, $500 million, we see that as success. It doesn't have to make $700 million because they knew it was never going to make $700 million. They knew this. Their projections told them it's breaking down exactly as it is right now. So it is technically a failure. And excuse me, I don't want to hear about the whole, it increased dog adoptions. People are helping neighbors. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear, Superman's positive again. I'm sorry. This is a world of nickels and dimes, of money. Money matters. And if something doesn't make money, people lose their jobs. People can't make things work because they don't get paid. And Warner Brothers is a company in massive debt, even though they just split the company in two to shuffle the debt around. So I don't want to hear any of that shit. Superman is a flop. Do not believe the propaganda. It's soaring. It's flying high. Look up. We're ready for Supergirl. No, the world is going to have to suffer this. And here's the thing. You can like Superman. You can like it and enjoy it. But as Dreo says, tell the truth and shame the devil.
Indeed.
Tell the truth. It isn't a success. Plain and simple.
It's just a complete lack of maturity, I think, for a lot of these crazy stands, not the average person, where they're not able to separate the fact that they enjoyed something and that it's not successful. Those have to go hand in hand, but it's entirely possible for you to enjoy a movie that doesn't make money, and
100%.
a movie failing shouldn't affect your enjoyment necessarily. For example, we just watched Idiocracy for Saturday Night Drive-In. That made $500,000 at the worldwide box office on a budget of $2.3 million. That lost money. And of course, it recouped it in the DVD sales, obviously, but just because a movie fails at the box office doesn't mean you can't enjoy it, or even if that should affect your enjoyment whatsoever. You can still enjoy Superman. The more I think about Superman, the more I think it's better than Fantastic Four. I think I've actually flopped which one I think is a more enjoyable film for me subjectively. Fantastic Four still wins objectively, I think, because it's simple plot, doesn't do any crazy nonsense for the most part, besides the egg and the planet. But I enjoyed Superman more. Does that mean that I should lie and pretend that it's a success just because I liked it? No, or liked it more by comparison. Still a bad movie. But no, adults need to be able to separate their feelings from reality. And that is a hard thing for a lot of people. And the reality of the situation is it's a flop. Feelings don't go to money.
You used an important word there, adult. These people don't behave like adults. They behave like children on social media, where they have to get out. They have to scream, look at me, look at me, look at me. I want your attention. I want your approval for the propaganda I'm buying into. Because right now, between Superman and Fantastic Four, there's these insane posts saying, why are you freaking out? It's made all these hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a success. But they make those, by saying that, proves what we just said. They don't understand the difference between gross and net profit. And to bring the point around to that, Jurassic World, on its budget of $180 million, with a likely marketing of about $50 million, because it wasn't a big marketing campaign, its break even was between $500 and $600 million. At $766 million gross, it has made at least $200 million in net profit. This has made money for, who made this again?
Universal.
It has made money for Universal. And I'm sure it has made money for the people who were involved with it, the stars. There were probably things. We know that ScarJo usually has things in her contract about getting extra money when it crosses certain thresholds. So everybody made money on this. Now, does it justify its reason for another movie? No. At this level, probably not, but that's not going to stop them. It won't. It hasn't stopped them yet. But Jurassic World made money. Superman will not. And more even intensely, Fantastic Four: First Steps is a flop. I thought it would do better internationally, but oh no. Look at what we have here. Only 170 million in 2
It's
weeks.
over. It's over.
And before it may get adjusted tomorrow, last week it went down, only 198 domestically. It doesn't even break $200 million domestically for a 66% week-to-week drop.
That is horrid.
I thought it was going to be in the 50s. Wow, was I wrong? Holy cow. I mean, seriously. That's
this movie had a much smaller budget than Superman from what's been reported. It had such a lower threshold to be called a success and not be a flop, and it's still not able to carry the baton across the finish line for this. Because at this point, 500 might be the ceiling, just like 600 is the ceiling for Superman. That's embarrassing, where Marvel has released 3 films this year, and none of them break 500 million at the box office. There was a time when Marvel was doing billion-dollar movies every time they came out, $3 billion movies in 1 year, and now combined, they're barely getting over $1 billion. This is abysmal. We can't understate how much of a failure this is for Marvel. Like, Kevin Feige's job should be in danger after 3 flops of this magnitude.
Now, you think about it like this. As we said, with a budget of, I think it said 200 million. Go back here. 200 million. A decent marketing campaign of at least $100 million.
Easily.
So we'll say 300. It still has a 900 break even.
Because okay. I mean, I don't have the numbers, but I'm pretty sure that marketing campaign is probably between 100 and 150 million dollars.
Easily.
Because like off the top of our heads, we could think of the adverts for what was that joint? The cardboard pizza. Little Caesars. Thank you. Little Caesars adverts.
The see-through shoes.
The shoes. The
popcorn buckets.
You've got popcorn buckets. Trailers sneak peeks during ESPN, all this other stuff. So I'm thinking at least between 100 and 150 million dollars. So I'm just gonna go low end for the sake of simplicity. Let's say it's $300 million this film costs.
Yeah.
So we're staring down the barrel, bare minimum, being very, very generous, of 650 to 700 million dollars break even.
Yeah, I think the budget's I think the budget's a little higher, and 100 to 150 is fair. But since we have the budget, it's only 2 times, so 650 to 700, I think is a conservative estimate for.
I think that's more than fair,
which is a lot better than $1 billion for Superman. 800 to $1 billion for Superman versus 600 to 800 for Fantastic Four.
I think it's probably closer to 800 to myself personally, but. Because there
with how expensive Marvel movies are, they're constantly lying. Marvel budgets, they get reported a year later that they're actually $150 million more than we said they were. So I think 800 is realistic considering the track record of Marvel, but with the information at hand, 650 is the safe bet. 800 is a reasonable bet with them.
Now, my window was 450 to 550. That was my window on this one. It's probably going to land right on that. I think it's going to land right on 450. And that's, if we go by the conservative safe numbers you just put up, that's still a $200 million loss.
And our original ranking for who would win the summer proved correct.
Yeah.
From even a year ago, we were predicting Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four. And we weren't sure after Superman came out and underperformed by our predictions, but we were proved correct in the end.
And we thought for a minute that there might be a better international in this movie because there wasn't so much negativity surrounding this movie as opposed to Superman, which there's a lot of negativity around that movie. People want to claim everybody loves it. No, half the people like it, half the people hate it. And this movie had a chance to possibly slip in, but no, it didn't. And I wonder if now my original equation, the exhaustion for Marvel, not superhero fatigue, but exhaustion for Marvel is in play, where I said, we can go back, look at the tapes. I said, after all these movies this year, Black Falcon, Thunderbolts, the TV shows, all the failed TV shows, and you finally get to Fantastic Four, didn't matter that you didn't need homework for this movie. People were tired of MCU. And I think it's showing. Add on that a little bit of Pedro Pascal disgust and everything else surrounding this. All the news that led up to it, people going, oh, is Sue Storm going to be the leader? All this stuff, which kind of did prove right in the movie. People are just simply tired of Marvel, and it shows where 2 weeks in, 368 million might barely limp to 450 when all is said and done, because we go back, look at this box office. It's already a couple days this week in single digits. This is, and if you go for Friday to Friday, an 80% drop Friday to Friday. This is done. Marvel is done.
I don't think it's debatable. And the entire MCU was riding on this film. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that the entire MCU is riding on the Fantastic Four. We already knew that this jump was not going to save the MCU. We knew this already. We knew this off the rip. But now the entire studio has got to be in some legitimate jeopardy. It has to be. Like, it's not even hyperbole. It has to be in legitimate jeopardy. You just spent, being once again very generous, $300 million, and you walk away with absolutely nothing.
Well, put all the movies together. They spent $1 billion this year and got nothing in return.
Got nothing.
You know what they got? They got to waste the profit that Lilo and Stitch made.
Oh, yeah, that's gone. That's
very gone.
That's gone.
But there's no way at this point that Doomsday is going to save anything. As we found out last week, they haven't even finished writing the fucking script, and they're almost done shooting it. And they're really desperate right now because there were reports this week of them finally casting more X-Men characters, their actual cast, instead of the Doomsday Fox nostalgia bait. So that's where they're hoping it'll go next. Fantastic Four didn't reinvigorate it, so X-Men's the last card that they have. That is the final ace up their sleeve. If an Avengers film and an X-Men film fail after Fantastic Four, those are their three biggest IPs gone. Because Spider-Man doesn't count for them. That's Sony.
And at the same time, Spider-Man Brand New Day, while still existing in the MCU timeline, it's not directly connected to Doomsday. It's happening simultaneously, and it's a street thing, but it's still another high. Spider-Man can't get his own movie because they're cramming it full of
too many fucking people in this. Did we not learn from Spider-Man 3? Focus on one villain.
Yeah, and it's not even villains,
unless you're doing
heroes.
the Sinister Six. But you have to build up to that.
Yeah, and they can't do that.
Well, they don't do that anymore, so
they can't do that. They can't do it. No, instead you're getting the Hulk and you're getting the Punisher, and they're all going to fight each other before the villain comes around.
Why?
Scorpion's going to be in it, coming back from Homecoming finally.
Yeah,
after they set that up.
The rumors are Mr. Negative. Now, Scorpion, Mr. Negative, legitimate Spider-Man rogues. But with the Hulk and Punisher in this, what are we doing? Rumors are also Silver Samurai, some chick who also isn't a Spider-Man rogue. So I don't understand the reasoning. I don't really want to get into the whole Tom Holland costume thing, like I said earlier. Great. He's in the right costume. Great. He's being friendly with people showing up on set, shaking hands. That's great. That's good publicity. Because let's be honest, people may not love Tom Holland Spider-Man, but Tom Holland is a good spokesman. He doesn't fuck up in the marketing campaign. Doesn't say anything to piss anybody off. He may not be beloved as Toby, or in the end,
he's inoffensive.
He's inoffensive.
Yeah.
Good word. Good word.
That's a good word. Yeah.
He's very inoffensive, and it feels like they don't have any faith in him though, or in Spider-Man in general, because they've been avoiding using Spider-Man in movies for a while now with their whole villain verse that they had going on. I don't know if it's Tom Holland that they don't have faith in, or Spider-Man as a character they don't have faith in, which is retarded after Spider-Man No Way Home was a $1.9 billion grossing movie. After COVID, it was the juggernaut that reinvigorated the box office after Top Gun Maverick, of course, but they should have faith in him to let him do his thing at this point. I think he's earned the right for a solo film. It's time Tom Holland gets a solo film.
Because you think about it like this. Spider-Man is the #1 superhero in the world. he beats Batman and Superman. And Noah Fake Fan, I know I tried to reply, but his post vanished. One of the worst shills out there saying, how can you think that anything's a problem when Superman's the most notably global superhero ever? Everybody loves around the world. No, Spider-Man's number one.
Superman is not as popular overseas as he is domestically, as proven by the box office. But just in general, he's an American icon. So that doesn't appeal to the rest of the world like it does to us. That's just logical. I don't know why people are so surprised by that.
I'm not. I mean, I love Superman.
Well,
but,
I know you.
Oh, no, I love Superman, but I understand I love Spider-Man more, and I understand that Spider-Man and Batman are more popular. Everybody loves Spider-Man.
I mean, just compare Iron Man to Captain America. Which movies did better overseas?
I don't remember.
Captain America. Captain America does good overseas. It's not bad like Superman, but it's still less than you'd expect from the other Marvel movies.
Yeah. So here we go. These movies in general are working when you first appeal to the right market, but at the same time, when you're not beating them into the ground. MCU has been beaten into the ground. Nobody cares anymore. And the Fantastic Four proves it. Those numbers are done. And Spider-Man's not going to save it. Doomsday sure as hell ain't going to save it. Not with, and here some of the statements they've said. Oh, expect people to die. Yeah, you got a whole cast of characters somebody cares about. Of course, you're going to kill them all off.
It's not even a matter about that. It doesn't matter the quality of that film. Doomsday might be the greatest movie of all time, but this budget, the production budget for that film.
Oh, it's going to be $600 million.
Easily $600 million before marketing. Before marketing, this might be the most expensive film ever made.
Endgame was already $450.
Yeah,
I think.
And that's before you paid RDJ $90 million. He's 90 for two movies. So $45 million of Doomsday is Robert Downey Jr. alone.
That's crazy. And the idea is that even if this movie is stupid good, it's going to cost too much to make money. Like you mentioned, Endgame cost like $450-500 million production like before. Yeah, I remember those numbers before marketing. But that joke made almost $3 billion in the box office. That joke made more money than Jesus. Okay, so it justified existence and justified that price tag. There's no way the MCU is going to recoup a production budget of $550 to $600 million. There's no way, because let's just put marketing in there for the sake of simplicity. Let's lowball and say it's $200 million.
That's lowballing.
That's lowball. That is lowballing it.
Let's just say it's $200 million. So we're looking at $800 million. So we need 1.6 billion to break even. And I need
that's insane. That's Avatar level nonsense.
I need $2 billion to justify my existence. I need $2 billion to justify my existence. That's crazy talk.
Dre, and here's the biggest problem. Secret Wars has to happen because this is going to end on a cliffhanger.
Of course it is.
So they're locked in for another likely $600 million movie with Secret Wars.
Which they haven't started writing yet.
And it already cost them $45 million because of Robert Downey Jr.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Like this isn't even ambitious anymore. No. This is retarded. It's not even ambitious. Infinity War, Endgame, these were ambitious films because they were actually built up to something in order for it to make money, for people to care. What phase are we even in anymore?
6. We're at the start of 6. Fantastic Four is the start of 6. Or no, Thunderbolts might have been.
No, Fantastic Four. No, Fantastic Four is the start of 6.
Okay, so we're in phase 6.
And how many setups for Doomsday have we gotten? We've gotten Doctor Doom at the end of Fantastic Four and the Fantastic Four ship at the end of Thunderbolts.
Both of which were filmed on the set of Avengers Doomsday.
Versus the build-up to Infinity War. We've been building up to that since Thor.
Yep.
Or you could also include Captain America with the Tesseract.
Yeah. Right when the Tesseract was introduced.
Iron Man 2, there was a bunch of setup for those other movies. I'd say they just made Iron Man, started with a self-contained movie, like they should, and then they realized, all right, this is going to be something big, and then Incredible Hulk, but who even remembers that movie? And
do.
Iron Man 2 is when I think they really started to get their plan in place.
Yeah.
And they
I
built
agree.
it up for a decade.
A decade, yeah.
That's why that was ambitious, like you're saying, because it took planning, it took talent, it took patience.
Yep. It sure did. And not to mention, they culminated the end of every single phase with an Avengers film. What have we gotten? We're now technically we're in the same position we were, except a little bit faster. So we had phase 1 ended with the Avengers movie. Phase 2, we had Age of Ultron.
Well,
then,
what we should say, Ant-Man is technically 2.
Technically. Well, as far as
Home.
Yeah, nobody cares about those movies. Avengers Endgame. We got 3 Avengers Infinity War Endgame. I'll put them together.
Yeah.
You were able to culminate each of your phases with a major event film. Phase 4, how did it begin and end? Do you know? I don't.
Phase 4 started with
it started with Black Widow and whatever the product
I thought Phase 4 started
Quantumania.
with Far From Home.
WandaVision.
I thought Phase 4 started with Far From Home.
No, Far From Home is Phase 3.
Really?
You
Okay.
see, you very smart. You very smart gentlemen are proving my point for me. We don't know where it begins or where it ends.
Phases are virtually irrelevant now.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Because there's no story.
There's nothing.
What happened to the multiverse?
What happened to Kang?
Nothing.
Kang. Was Kang.
Kang got took down by a white woman. So that's the end of that.
Well, the rumors are that Doom's going to wipe out the Council of Kangs at the start of the whole Doomsday, and that's how they're going to remember. But yeah, Kang was never going to be anything. I remember when we called it, we said this ain't going to work. Kang ain't going to work. And they're likely going to reset and try to go, I guess. And we said, I guess they're going to try Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They went right to Dr. Doom.
But we have ourselves another problem. Who is this Dr. Doom?
We don't know.
What Dr. Doom is this?
I don't.
I have no idea. Are we like? Did he work with Reed? Where did they fall out? Where
we
did
don't
that
know.
come from?
Not in 868 or 828, whatever one it is.
But Adam, does it even matter? It doesn't even matter because you've established Dick. That's why it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You are now about to go into a Doom movie. Call like it is. It's a Dr. Doom movie. We don't know anything about him. We don't know what his motivations are. We don't know what version of Dr. Doom they're even using. We don't know if this is God Doom. We don't know if this is.
But it has to end up being God Doom. It has to for their Secret Wars
it
plan.
has to end up there.
Yeah.
But how did we get there? We're just
going to
dropped into the
assume
middle of
people
something.
know who Dr. Doom is. Doomsday feels like the movie that requires the most homework of any film ever.
Yes.
And it doesn't even include homework that makes sense. Like the previous Fantastic Four movies with Dr. Doom in him, that's not going to set up this film. It's not like you can set up the X-Men films to lead up to, a Magneto showed up in Doomsday. It's expecting comic book knowledge to understand the very plot of the film. I don't think they're going to give him an origin story. I don't think he's going to have an origin story. He's just going to fucking show up. They might nod at something like, I had to read Richards on my world or some random throwaway lines like that. But I don't think we're going to see an origin story for him. And they're just going to assume people know, he's kind of from the comics and he's super powerful and leave that assumption as the foundation of the film because they're still writing it. So there isn't a plan. There isn't prep. There's nothing. So they're just going to jump in head first and hope people figure out the slop and headcanon it. Because that's what a lot of Disney movies are. I mean, we all remember the sequel trilogy. They had to let fans figure out how those movies actually made sense. They didn't. And then they took those fan ideas and made them into books to fix those movies. We're going to see the same thing here. After Doomsday comes out, they're like, we were always planning a companion comic book series that would explain his origin story. We're always going to plan on that. And here it is explaining this, filling in all the plot holes from Doomsday.
So here's the problem with what you just said. I have one problem with what you just said. The fact that it's Robert Downey Jr., who looks like Tony Stark.
Yes.
That has to be a part of it in some way, shape, or form to confuse the heroes. And I don't know, is he going to be really Victor Von Doom or adopted by the Von Dooms? I don't know. I have no idea. And before we go any farther, I want to get this real quick because it came up during the discussion. Excuse me. Biggles, Mets for membership for 24 months. How does getting tax credits work for break-even point? If we legitimately know it, like if we have actual on their end, on the studio's end, they get tax credits to lower the production cost, which of course changes the break-even point. They say they get them, but unless we see them on tax papers, we don't know exactly what they got, which is why we're calling bullshit on James Gunn.
It's more important than that as well, because the tax documents we got out of Ohio, those documents would have reported their credits. That is the proof of post credit.
Mm-hmm.
So the 363, I think, is post tax credit for Ohio, at least, because that would have been included there. But yeah, tax credit, it's just obfuscating an expense. So you're saving money in the back end by not having to pay as many taxes. It's not an upfront save. It's a, hey, you don't have to pay this later instead. So it's weird, but it does help a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
None of these tax breaks are massive. We're not talking $100 million tax breaks. We're talking like, I don't know, 50 as the max I could see for a lot of these movies.
And this is why nobody shoots in America, because the taxes for shooting films are through the roof. So that's everybody goes to Canada, and now they're all going to England to shoot the
Which
movies.
England is not the right choice. I get Canada. Even with Canada the way it is right now, that's right next door. It's easy to do. But UK is actually known for their insane taxes, and they're getting bit in the back end. So,
and when I say Canada, I mean like television. Television for decades would shoot in Canada. They'd make Vancouver look like New York and shit like that.
Exactly.
All that kind of stuff. So thank you, Biggles, for the 24 membership message. All right, so back on this topic then. So we don't even know what Dooman is. And I think they have to do something of a backstory in Doomsday. Otherwise, you're really going to be confused then if they don't explain why he looks like Tony Stark. Now, do we think they got him to create that kind of story? No, they got Robert Downey Jr. because they wanted a sure win of recognizability and comfortable. Somebody people are comfortable with and might go see because they like Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU. They got him without a plan.
Robert has a whole lot else going on. A supporting role in Oppenheimer, which he did great in, is the biggest highlight of his career post Endgame that I could think of. Dr. Dolittle was a flop.
That's a long time ago. Well, here's the thing, though. RDJ, between his original profits from being in the MCU and now this, he doesn't have to do anything forever.
That's true.
He has enough money to be comfortable for the rest of his life, make proper investments. We know it's not going up his nose anymore. So he can
and
rest
it's not going
easy.
into his pantry. There's no meat in that pantry.
Yeah, the man needs to eat a hamburger. Point is, he is set. He can retire and be happy, or he can try to be a producer of things now. He doesn't have to do anything anymore. He doesn't need any more home runs. He is fine. But when you back up $90 million for somebody for 2 movies, you're going to say yes. You're going to say yes. That is a smart business decision. Now, creatively, as I said, I don't think they had a plan in mind when they backed it up. They just thought, let's bring in RDJ. Everybody loves RDJ. It'll be an easy win for familiarity, but boom. And they don't have a story.
I think it was RDJ who made them not use Iron Man, because in all his interviews, like there's the famous Joe Rogan clip where he's like, if I were to come back, if I would put the suit back on, would it really feel right? Would the death in Endgame mean what it did? Like, he's been a big proponent of not desecrating his death. So I think they backed up the money and he said, all right, I'll come back, but I will not be Tony Stark. And I actually respect that quite a bit. If that's true, that's just my headcanon, but defending the legacy.
Right. You're probably right.
Still get his money while respecting his character. Like, that is the perfect balance. I can't blame him for those decisions.
And Kevin Feige is on the record with an interview from 2 weeks ago saying, when we're done with Secret Wars, reset button, recastings. Everybody's getting recast after Secret Wars. Every major character that everybody's familiar with. So it doesn't matter anymore who is Iron Man, who's Captain America. Even if they somehow get in Nazi Cap, which God help us if they do.
Even if they do that, the reason he's coming back is Cap.
If he comes back, I'm not involved. You're coming back. We all know you're coming back. What are you doing?
Only as villain Cap. That's the only way he would ever come back.
Which,
as Cap.
which is one of the worst things ever to happen in comics. I know it was through Cosmic Cube, Tesseract trickery, shit like that, but it still happened, and it was ruined. It ruined it. That's why I hate modern day Marvel, because of that. Between making Cap a Nazi, making him Hydra, and One More Day, that's enough to ruin Marvel for me forever. Those two events, because you take away the agency of two great characters. One my favorite, another one I really also like a lot. So you do that. It's like, what am I here for anymore? What am I here for?
X.
I'm not. I checked out. Which is why I'm not excited for a Spider-Man movie, which is why we're not excited for AMC movies anymore, because nobody gives a damn, and the numbers are proving it. At $600 million, this, like we said, this movie needs an insane amount of break even. I think at best, because it's an Avengers movie, I think at best they get about $800, $900 million.
Yeah, $900 million flop. A $900 million flop is what you're projecting.
Yeah,
and I have no argument against it.
Let it happen. Burn it down. Burn it down. I don't care anymore. I've got phases 1 through 3 on my shelf. I can enjoy them anytime, and I can stop. I do stop after Endgame. I stop. I never even got Far From Home because I didn't like it. Yes, the end of Far From Home is good because that's a real Spider-Man fight against Mysterio. It's a good fight, but the rest of the movie is total trash.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't even bother getting that one.
Diarrhea laced.
No Way Home is a little bit like that as well. The first 2 acts with the Doctor Strange stuff is just nonsense, but then they pull it together where it's a lot of fun to see the 3 Spider-Man together.
Yeah.
But that movie's not written well. It exists solely for
Jangly
nostalgia bait. I mean, have you guys watched No Way Home at home, not at the theater?
No.
Yeah.
It is a massively different experience because they stop for applause so often in that film that it just feels awkward when you're not in the theater and there's actually the applause. It works in the theater when it's Matt Murdock, everyone's freaking out, but at home you're just like, okay, someone say a line. Something happened. Andrew Garfield coming through the portal, taking off his mask.
That's terrible.
3 minutes later, throw some bread at him. It's an awkward film to watch after it came out in theaters. At home, it's a completely different experience.
I wasn't aware of that until you just said that. Oh, there's a lot of pauses in the film. Waiting for a reaction. I need to watch that again now.
Well, what's his bucket? Charlie Cox actually talked about how he was told there to wait for applause. They were all told, all right, this is an applause moment. Wait for applause. And there's a funny story he tells about he snuck into a theater for an early showing of No Way Home, and he was expecting applause. He had a camera crew ready to go, and no one actually reacted to him in his theater.
That's sad.
That's a little sad.
That really is sad. But that's where we are. Jangly keys are the only way to get anything, and jangly keys only go so far.
That's why Endgame's the good stopping point.
Yeah,
you can watch the good clips on No Way Home on YouTube and get all the great stuff out of that. That's a better place to go for it.
Yeah. And Sony is an idiot for not saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's go back to Andrew Garfield." They could have slotted him in there and made some fresh movies with him because people were hungry for it. It's like, let's give it a try. Let's do it.
That's how you know that Sony is definitely sniffing all types of crack. With the success of No Way Home, with the success of that film, it was like I think it's the highest grossing movie since, like in the theater since like Endgame, if memory serves me correctly.
With the exception of Avatar.
Avatar. I'm sorry.
We don't. Blue people, different conversation.
Yeah, I'd be forgetting. But but one of the highest grossing movies, top 2 or 3 since Endgame. And you mean to tell me that I'm not about to stop everything I'm doing and start writing scripts immediately to capitalize off of that? You have to be blind, deaf, and dumb to try to not do that. It's insane. I would have stopped all the presses. Craven, Morbius, all the other garbage. I would have just threw it. Madam Web, all this garbage that came through the pipeline after the success of that film, I would immediately call Andrew Garfield up and offered him whatever he wanted. Like, what do you want? Money, gold, loose women? They're yours. They're all yours. They're all yours. Just come back and let's make more amazing.
People
Spider-Man
wanted it. People said at the
craving.
time, "Give us Andrew Garfield." He said he went through some dark times. Let's go back to his world. You have a chance to, instead of giving us all these villains without Spider-Man, put us in there. Put us in there. We are interested in seeing what he's up to. I liked TASM 1. TASM 2 is trash.
No
I
one
liked TASM 1.
disliked Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
He carried himself with grace and poise through all that, never alienated the fans, and he kept an audience, and now he had his opportunity to shine. But it's even dumber than that. Sony had the success of No Way Home, which was absolutely insane for them, and they didn't back up a truck to Andrew Garfield. And I think even more importantly, and even more stupidly, it's taken them 5 fucking years to do a sequel to that movie.
That's crazy.
Smart studio would be like, all right, we're greenlighting a sequel right now. We're going to film at the start of next year. Let's get this out as quickly as we can. Maybe 2 years after the No Way Home, we'll have the next one out. It's going to be too fucking long.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man hype has declined. 5 years is too much for a Tom Holland sequel.
And you know, they could have done something parallel as well to it, that it wouldn't have mattered if it was essentially the same thing. You back money up to Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire, and you make a Spider-Man 4 that prints you fucking money.
Yep.
We finally get the Mysterio he was setting up in his trilogy with
Bruce
Campbell.
we can move along. We can move along from 3. You know.
Yeah, like everybody knows that movie was bad. I don't think no one has that type of delusion.
Even I said that film was bad. Even I couldn't sit through it. I was going up. I can't sit through this because I was probably making one too many comparisons to Tom Hardy's Venom in comparison to that. That's probably why.
Yeah. Well, with Spider-Man 2, I haven't seen it in a long time, so I don't remember fully. But are there any consequences of that film that could not be ignored in a potential Spider-Man 4? Just like pretend it didn't happen.
You mean 3?
In 3.
3, yeah.
Spider-Man 3, 4, for a Spider-Man 4.
Well, there's a lot of things that happened. So, like, Harry Osborn's dead, so Oscorp is probably out of control. The Sandman is still at large. Let's not.
But he forgave him, so
yeah. Don't bring the Sandman back. Don't bring the
he's still at large.
And
Dr.
now
Connors never did anything ever.
And here's the problem. There is a problem with the Raimi verse. Because of the events of No Way Home, everybody got cured and sent back, and
they can't reuse any of the characters from No Way Home.
I mean, it's all. That's multiverse.
Yeah, multiverse stuff hurts my tummy.
I really don't like the idea of Doc Ock getting cured and then going back to die.
It totally ruins the end of Spider-Man 2, where he forces himself to be sane for 30 seconds, saying, "I will not die a monster."
Yeah.
That's a great moment.
Because Tom Holland just cured him, and that's why he was a good person at the end of Spider-Man 2. It wasn't willpower; it was just multiverse crap.
Yeah.
Oh God, please!
I will not die a monster. That is such a great moment.
Yeah, it was a great moment. It's a good movie.
Oh,
Spider-Man 2 is a great movie. I love that movie. That movie's great.
Yeah. It still holds up. So, MCU, what are we doing? We're failing.
Less than nothing.
We're failing. And problem is, it literally is a corpse walking. But the people who are pretending that Fantastic Four is successful, pretending that there's real excitement for Doomsday, I don't understand that mentality. I really don't. I understand it from a paid shill. You're being paid. You're being paid to do that. That's fine. But to the people on social media who retweet and requote all this shit, what is wrong with
their
you?
life on the success of this film?
Yeah. So I don't get it. I don't get it. And they're still pretending that there's no problem. Like that channel I melted down over a week ago. That channel's pretending, oh, everything's doing fine. It's doing fine. Fantastic Four is not failing. Why is everybody freaking out? No, you're a moron and a shill and a stan. You live in a fantasy world. Somehow you have a bigger channel than I do, but you live in a fantasy world, and you can't handle the reality of failure, and that's what it is.
Some people shouldn't do crack.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
So what we have here overall is this is the end of all this garbage we've been dealing with for years. A lot of us got into this game because we had things to say about the failure of our pop culture, our nerddom, our geekdom, all this stuff. We got into this game because we had to get it out somehow. It's now we've reached that point, though. Here we are. It is August 2025. The woke era is over, or it's ending.
Yeah.
It's
no.
ending.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely over.
It's ending. As Jed pointed out earlier, we're going to get the last remnants, and a few diehard things are still gonna. They're gonna pretend everything's the same. They're still gonna push out some crap. Things that were in production, it has to come out. They can't shelve it. They can't black hole it. Can't turn it into a tax credit.
It's gonna be relegated to what it was before, a niche. There's always going to be political films out there. There's always been political films on the fringes that appeal to their base and worked for what they were going for. So we're still going to see the occasional god-awful Robin X TV show from Canada. Just a small little low-budget thing that people hope will do good for their audience. We're still going to see that, I think, for the rest of cinema. As long as cinema's around, there's going to be the one-offs who are trying to appeal to the base, but the absolute infusion of it into every aspect of pop culture is almost completely on the way out at this point. Few holdouts, but I don't foresee a whole lot of political leanings in Doomsday. I'm thinking Doomsday is going to be a disaster because they're still writing it, and that's the problem.
And there'll be reshoots. There will be
reshoots, but the political infusion, I think, is something that we're not seeing anymore. Even the films that are coming out now that still have aspects of it, they're relegated to minor aspects of the film. So they're easily forgettable, and you can focus on the other trash aspects, like Fantastic Four. The feminism, you could argue that it exists in that film, but it is not in your face to the degree that you can ignore.
It's just cringe as fuck.
It's cringe, but it doesn't break the already broken narrative.
Now, Wildcard brings us to this point here, and it ties into sort of where I'm going with this. They are creatively bankrupt, which means they're going to be re-releasing things to try and fill the hole up here. And I pointed out a few days ago with the announcement of the re-release of A New Hope for the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. With one problem, though. They're releasing it in April, not May.
See, the way that I would do it is to try to satisfy new Star Wars fans and the classic fans. Have it come out on May the 4th. I know that bothers you, but have that be the day that it comes out for all those people. But have it finish on May 25th, real Star Wars Day, with all 3 movies. You can go see a marathon.
That still works. I even said when I talked about this, they could even put it out on May the 4th. It would still be within May. You're starting it in April.
Yeah, that's wild.
So they can't even get it right when they're trying to do it. And I do want to remark, where's that 10th anniversary of
Force Awakens?
Thank you, Dragon Lady, because God knows I forgot the title too.
Yeah.
So,
that's not going to get re-released. No one gives a shit. It made so much fucking money, but no one can describe the plot of that movie.
I forgot. That don't mean I hope it's in. It'll be
more.
It was November.
11. We're 11 years now, isn't it?
Wait,
December.
It was December 2015.
Okay, good. That's why I remember. I was pretty sure.
So we're almost 10 years at this point.
Almost 10 years.
But
nothing.
I heard a theory, and I think it might actually be true, and that would be the worst thing possible, that because they're re-releasing New Hope for the 50th anniversary, that they do it early to build up excitement for it, and then on May the 4th, they announce that they're remaking it.
Don't.
They can't do it as long as George is alive. They can't.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that I've always said, the sound bits of George Lucas reacting to them remaking Star Wars would sink that movie instantly.
We got to protect George at all costs.
He looks okay.
He looks like he's doing pretty well for his age. But they've got nothing else up their sleeve. Once Mandalorian and Grogu fails, once the Heir of the Empire movie or whatever, if that comes out, once that fails, once all these other movies fail, Kathleen Kennedy has nothing left. Remaking New Hope is the last card that they play. So I think they're pushing it out for a hype moment like the 50th anniversary.
They want to. They can't, though.
You can't do that. That's cinema history. You can't do that.
They want to. They desperately want to.
You can't. I can't imagine.
They're going to remake everything that they can get their hands on. I'm shocked we don't have a Gone with the Wind remake coming. Casablanca.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Legendary films, you can't do that.
But in the wake of re-releasing stuff, that, the remaining woke projects are all there's left, and there's always going to be agenda and things. But as Jed said, it's not going to infect everything at every turn.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are. We're at the end of it. What's next? Can they return to normal? Can we return to normal? By we, I mean our sphere, or things that have grown out of the pop culture reaction sphere that we're a part of. What do you do now if you don't have your anti-woke banner? Now, we have I was supposed to say us, we have worked hard over the past few years to use the term less and less because it became meaningless after a point. I use the word agenda because agenda can reference many things, not just wokeism, but politics and other things like that. I use the word agenda, and agenda is always going to be there. They're always going to try and get political agenda and stuff. That's never going away. So I did that, but also, let's try and not just focus on these things.
Mm-hmm.
Let's focus on the things we love. I'm hoping in the future, with all of you fine people showing up, subscribing, watching my stuff, I would love nothing more than to upload a video, just me just talking about Star Trek for no reason whatsoever, and you will watch it and enjoy it. That's I am ready to talk about everything on these shelves behind me, ad nauseum forever, without even talking about crap out there. It's very easy for me. Play video games, other shows. Jed and I review movies every week. Very easy. But where do we all go from this, though? Can the world stop being obsessed with wokeism and being anti-woke? I'm throwing that out there. Answer away.
So, unfortunately, I think a lot of our channels in the sphere were incepted as anti-woke channels and subsist wholly off of it. So the people who cannot adapt to survive will fail, unfortunately. And that's what we're going to see if you don't have any ability to talk about pop culture outside of the political aspect of it, you're not going to get the same success. Fortunately, a lot of us are writers, so we can very easily talk about the quality of a script, and we have those avenues to continue. But there's a bigger problem I see beyond just the wokeism aspect, because they're talking about it in the chat. The damage of the wokeism era, I think, will continue for a long time to come.
Absolutely.
I think it will be many years before we see good films and, more importantly, successful films. So even the few of us who are able to adapt, I think we're all still going to struggle in this sphere because new pop culture won't be as relevant, and it'll take a long time for new franchises to be born and for the faith to be restored in these studios to make these franchises great, that it'll be another 10 years before pop culture can be at the point to sustain a YouTube sphere that just talks about the new things that are coming out, the news coming out, the reviews that are coming out. But we're going to see a thinning of the herd from the people who are exclusively anti-woke and have no other skills to offer, who they had their time, they were great at what they did, but that's just not important anymore to the majority of people out there. And then there's going to be a gradual decline, I think, for the rest of us until that faith is restored. And you can... Faith and trust is easy to lose and hard to regain. It's going to take many years for the general public to see these changes because they're not ingrained in this like we are. They don't see the announcements, like as you always talk about, Adam, Square Enix turned things around. They're not going to see those changes. So they're not going to seek them out. They're not going to seek out the new products of these companies that are trying. So we're going to see a lot of failures of good movies in the next few years. We're going to see a lot of flops. And it's going to take a long time for that faith to be restored. The moment that faith's restored, we can go back to, I think, 2012, 2014 era pop culture on YouTube, where everyone could just jump on here and be excited about what was coming, what was new. But that's going to be a long time. And I think even the best of us in this sphere who aren't solely anti-woke will struggle as a result. Unless we can find a way to adapt.
And that is the thing.
It's all about evolution.
Yeah, you have to adapt. You have to be able to, in my opinion, talk about more than one thing. Be able to talk about the things you love in an entertaining way. And to Wildcard's point here, Star Wars could be saved but Disney can't be involved anymore. They have to not own it anymore. It has to be turned over to people who understand what made the EU and all that kind of stuff. And I've made many theories about that. So it's not going to work. Star Trek, to Stephen Watson's point here, that's the holdover. That's Kurtzman Trek still with a vice-like grip on the Star Trek IP. Thing is, though, with the Skydance merger and Paramount, maybe the remainder of Kurtzman's contract might be voided, and there would be a chance. Now,
pray to God.
Now, I don't want to spoil it for Jed because he's working his way back to getting around to actually watching it, but they had a window of opportunity with the end of Picard Season 3. You ignore Picard Season 1 and 2, Picard Season 3 was a step in the right direction, an apology for crap, and they opened a window for new fun Star Trek while still remaining somewhat attached to the stuff we loved with the possibility of legacy, but they didn't. They went straight to what you just mentioned, Starfleet Academy. I reacted to that trailer a week ago. It's a nightmare. I'm going to review the hell out of it. I'll probably make Jed watch it. I'll make Brad watch it, and we're going to do another panel show on it. Yeah, don't look at me like that. You're gonna watch it. You're gonna hate it, and we're gonna cry about it on stream.
Then I'm not even going to consider not making you watch The Witcher because I was considering letting you off.
No, liar.
I don't
liar.
care. I really don't care about The Witcher right now. But now, yep, you've convinced me. We're doing The Witcher.
You were gonna make me watch it, please. I was already prepared for that. But all these things that were great could be saved, but a lot of things have to work in favor, and a lot of people that have ruined them can't be involved anymore. But, I mean, going forward still, like Jed said, there will be room for the independent sphere, which is what we're all a part of here. We are all striving, some of us more far ahead than others, to break into the independent sphere, provided, and when all is said and done, hoping to be a part of the new pop culture. The new content, because this channel, while it is born as a channel that is reviewing, analyzing, commenting, enjoying both past, present, and current and future nerddom, geekdom stuff, IPs, franchises, I want to make my own stuff and then talk. I'd rather talk about my stuff than talk about that in the end. If you guys are enjoying it, I'd rather be involved in that. That's where that's where we want to head. I mean, Dre, you're already there. You got your stuff out there.
Yeah, so to the point of your question about like, can we move on, of course, and I think Jed answered it pretty succinctly. In regards to, there's a lot of us that have that had skin in the game before the woke mind virus began. Like, so those of us, we'll be able to turn it off and move on with our lives. But this is I think the only part I disagree with Jed on is, as far as the culture is concerned, I think it's forever changed. I believe it's forever changed. I believe like there are certain moments in pop culture or even in our regular lives that happens that changes the world forever, and we can never go back. Now, I'm not going to compare this apples to oranges, but I'm just giving an example so that everybody at home can understand what I'm talking about. World War II, there was a particular gentleman with a mustache, all right, that did some pretty horrible things to a particular group of people. That individual, anybody that ever shows any form of evil is automatically compared to this individual, even though people may never even compare to the amount of evil that man is engaged in, but it's automatically compared. That type of impact has lasted until the end. It's going to last until the end of time. There are also just so I can compare. What the woke mind virus is now that impact as far as pop culture is concerned. As far as pop culture is concerned, if there's any a whiff of what seems like wokeism, people are going to riot. If it's even a moment of any film that feels like, oh my God, here comes this woman that's going to come and save the day. Doesn't matter if you earned it or not. The moment that happens in a film, everybody's eyes are going to collectively roll. It's no fault to their own. They've been conditioned that, oh, here comes another girl boss. Oh, here comes another fill in the blank alphabet, gay, no penis, fish baby. Like here we go again. Like those moments, and they're always going to exist. Like Grant, it's going to dumb down 100%. Just like blaxploitation used to be a big thing in the 70s when everything was
blaxploited.
Yeah, like that used to be a big thing in the 70s. But now, do those films still exist? Yeah, of course, from here to time to time. But that's no longer a thing. But right when it happens, like, oh, here we go again. Like, it is going to be a part of the zeitgeist forever. It's never going to go away. And those moments. Oh, go ahead, Adam.
No. I was trying to time it. I missed time to keep going. I ended it.
Yeah, like those moments, like any moment that even resembles or smells any way familiar to the last, give or take 8-9 years, it's going to be rejected. It's going to be a whole thing, and it's going to spark off all over again. And now there's a lot of people in our zeitgeist and in our sphere that are not mature enough to move forward, are not mature enough to move on, because sometimes when you fought for so long, you don't know what it's like to not fight anymore.
Oh, well put. That's excellent. You have a certain level of PTSD.
Yep.
When these things, and you can't get out of it. And here's a perfect example of what you're saying, how it's always going to be there. And certain people, not on our side, but the other side, are always going to try and turn something into nothing. We are not going to spend another 45 minutes specifically on this topic, but it's a perfect example of taking something that is not only pure, innocent, and beautiful, but brilliantly done. Sydney Sweeney and her American Eagles ad. Let's just watch this for 1 second. This is for my own enjoyment, really, but let's just watch it.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
Yeah, I see what you did there. I know you know exactly what you're doing, honey. Now, point is this. This was a brilliant marketing idea and plan by American Eagle. Let's
100%.
take what is considered the hottest chick of the moment. Let's put her in not even tight jeans, but they're kind of the semi-loose, semi-tight. They're hitting her ass just right. Let's put her in a top that's barely containing her bosom, and let's have her talk all sexy like for several different commercials.
Smart.
What happened?
This isn't even genius. This is just baseline marketing from 10, 20 years ago. And it's a stupid pun. The jeans and jeans, it's a stupid fucking pun, but it works.
It works.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant because this is the way it was.
Inoffensive.
Yeah.
20 years ago, it'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll buy some jeans. Like, it's completely inoffensive, not a standout commercial whatsoever. But now it's the end of the world.
But, there's your point. So normal people reacted to this, especially men. Yes, thank you. Sydney Sweeney's hot. And then American Eagle reaped benefits. Major stock jump. People are buying the jeans. Nothing but positivity. But to what we're talking about, the woke mind virus, which will, as Dre perfectly said, will be there. It is a part of the social structure DNA, unfortunately. It will wane in power, but it will be there, a cancer ready to spread if allowed. What did they do? They called it Nazi dog whistling.
They called it eugenics. That was the word they were throwing around, that this was after just watching Wrath of Khan. Eugenics looks quite a bit different, Adam.
Yes. Yeah. So there are people out there who turned this into an incredibly dumb story. And now it's made it even bigger because everybody's watching the ads. We're talking about it constantly, and it blew up in their face because that is where we are, I think, in this woke mind virus as it reaches its final cycle. They are so dumb. They are so stupid. Everything they try will blow up in their face Do you really think the world is going to reject Sydney Sweeney with her ass in jeans and tits barely being held in by a jean jacket there? Do you think they're going to reject that? No, they're not going to. They're going to embrace it because people want beautiful things. Men love beautiful women. Women want to look like beautiful women.
Yep.
And people want to wear what they're wearing. It's standard old school advertising incentives. And I mean, because let's be honest, deep down in our primordial male brains, some of us think if I put on these American Eagle jeans and if I walk by Sydney Sweeney down the street, she will say, "Oh, you're wearing the jeans I wore in the commercial. It worked. Let's have a conversation." You think, yes, I'm in. Somewhere in our fantasy brains, we think that's going to happen.
Yep.
If we wear the jeans, like she sees wearing the jeans, she's going to like it and like me. Of course, it's not going to, but that's the whole point. And that's what advertising is all about, to make you think crazy things and make you buy the product. And once upon a time, as Jed said, that was normal. This is normal. This is a return to normalcy. And the fact that crazy purple-haired, nose-ring-wearing, over-tattooed, creepy weirdos are going about saying, it's a Nazi dog whistle. It's fascism on parade.
I'm still confused on how this sexy white woman with the nice titty meat is somehow propaganda for Nazism. I'm very.
I can explain it to you.
She's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, but let's forget she's also a bottle blonde. She's
no. But the important part, Dre, is the pun. The stupid fucking pun of jeans being pronounced like jeans.
Oh,
and so she's got great genes. Oh, are you saying she has great genes because she's blonde with blue eyes and white? Oh, you're suggesting that we should do horrible things to everyone who doesn't have her genes. They just read into a whole lot about the stupid fucking pun.
Okay,
so because the reason.
The pun's the reason.
Because they're crazy.
Yeah. So as far as I took the pun, I mean, like, we all understand what the pun is because she's hot. The reason why I think the jean joke works is because her titty meat is fantastic. Plain and simple. I don't care. Like literally, right when I heard the pun, I'm like, oh, because she's smoking hot, she got nice titty meat. I never even thought about her skin and eye color.
That's what they took it as.
Because you're normal. Because you're also a normal male, you're saying, oh, yeah, I'm thinking things.
Exactly. Unspeakable things.
Yes.
Absolute things my son has to cover his eyes and ears. He cannot bear witness to. He cannot bear witness to. And so, like, these people are unhinged. And like, but to your point, Adam, but to your point, what you were saying before, there's no way that the zeitgeist, that the woke mind virus would ever leave the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Because of something as simple. There's something as simple as this. They think the people are unhinged. They're unhinged. They need help. But you know,
I think the best evidence that woke is on its way out is because of the American Eagle's official response to this. There was a fake response from a couple days ago that isn't true, but it was hilarious. And then they released a real one. Do you have that pulled up, or I can?
No, I don't. No, I don't. Go.
I can just talk. So it's essentially them just saying, "Hey, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Join us in celebrating everyone's great genes."
Yeah.
And it was just a simple response. It's like, we're not saying it because just everyone has great genes. Let's all wear jeans. And
never bend the knee. Never bend the knee.
They didn't bend the knee. They didn't feel the need to bend the knee. And I think that's the big sign out of all this, because there's been occasional things like this that have come on over the last few years, but the response made these companies afraid, made them bend the knee, made them afraid. But the fear isn't there anymore. That's all the woke had power over. That all their power came from fear, came from cancel culture, feeling like we can, if these people, they can ruin your business if they don't like what you did. That fear is gone, so they are powerless against these changes that are happening. And I think that's the most important thing here. And they're all freaking out. They're like, oh, a few years ago, we would have gotten paragraphs of an apology and they would have been punished forever. And then, of course, comparing it to Bud Light, saying everyone's hypocrites for this because of the difference in the Bud Light response. It's just they're so out of touch with reality that they don't understand why this is an incredible thing and why these responses aren't equivalent with Bud Light or with what they did to Tesla with the Cybertruck. We all remember how crazy that shit was.
I've seen those bumper stickers in the wild. I bought this car before Elon lost his mind.
The violence that was committed against the Cybertrucks was utterly insane. But Bud Light, we're just not buying Bud Light. Oh, great jeans? Yeah, funny. I'll buy some jeans.
You hit it on the nose. 3-4 years ago, we were all saying, Why are you bending the knee to these psychopaths? They have no power over you. They can't do anything to you except say mean things online to you. When you give them the power to cancel somebody's livelihood by saying, we're not going to work with you, we're going to pull sponsorship, we're not going to have you on this program, this and that, that's where you gave them the power. But American Eagle, in this moment, is showing that maybe corpos are realizing, wait a minute, let's be greedy again. Let's be greedy and market to the people with money. Let's market to the actual population out there. Let's realize that these queerdos who exist on social media have this much ability to turn the needle. They have no ability to influence anything unless, as Jed just said, you give it to them. So if you do not bend the knee, if you don't show them your neck, you're going to be fine, because the tens of millions of people who will happily thirst over Sydney Sweeney's titties in a commercial will go out and buy your jeans and repeat your commercial on live streams like this with free promotion.
Yep.
Free promotion, free marketing. This is what good marketing is. We're marketing the brand, we're marketing the girl, and I ain't earning a single cent from them as a sponsor. But I like looking at Sydney Sweeney. I know the chat likes looking at Sydney Sweeney, so I'm going to put her on the screen. I'm gonna on Daily Dive. She's one of the 3 girls that are on my thumbnail. I'm gonna use her beauty because everybody appreciates her beauty.
Beauty sells.
Simple. And they realize that, and this is where we are returning to normalcy. Let's go back a while ago. Produce a movie like Naked Gun, a normal comedy. It's going to do well for a low budget. Make a little bit of money on each one of these things. Make money. Release a beautiful women marketing a product without anything offensive in it. Just a really simple pun and a really simple product, and people are going to buy it. It's that simple. Make a video game for your audience. Don't uggify the women. Make the mechanics people want to see in that game. No more running around, smashing and grabbing. Make your assassin be an assassin. Make your game work. Make your game beautiful, and your customers will show up. And when customers are happy, they are your biggest cheerleader. They will carry your banner, because, as I always say, fans are the lifeblood of everything. Without us, the heart does not pump, the franchise does not live. And when you cater to us, we will be the ones to be your biggest promoters. And we'll be out there speaking the good word. And when people hear the positivity, the actual organic love for something, they're going to say, hey, William, this person actually likes it. Maybe they're a real fan. Maybe I'll like it too. Maybe I'll give it a try. I'd like to try on Sydney Sweeney right now. There you go. There you go. So I think we all hit some very important points here. The war is not done. The war will continue, but it's going to shift. It's going to cool down. It is fading. But in the end, Dre is absolutely right. It's going to be, and I hate this term so much, it's going to be a new normal. It'll be a new normal.
Sure.
But I think less warriors in the fight.
Yeah, I think that term is actually acceptable in this situation. Like they throw that term around like new normal, meaning like accept my freak mess. That's usually what they're talking about.
No, that's what I'm
but,
talking about.
But in your case, the way you're using, I think, is the proper way because of the damage that has been done and the war of attrition that it has been for almost a decade. It is going to be a quote unquote new normal. It's inevitable. It's what it is.
You said it perfectly. Every time we see a female character on a screen in any remote action movie, we're going to think, oh no, she's going to be doing head scissor takedowns without any sort of superpowers.
Yep.
And we're always going to wonder until we're proven wrong.
Yep.
So
exactly.
We live in the new normal. Unfortunately, our brains go there first. And that is the unfortunate part. We have now been rewired, reprogrammed to question first. We want trust, but verify.
Yeah.
That's where we are, unfortunately. Anybody want any last words? I'm spent.
Just for further clarification for Dre, why this is so evil, this whole campaign. Did you know that diarrhea is actually hereditary?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it runs in your genes.
Oh, yeah. I see what you did there.
Gingers have no souls. This proves gingers have no souls. That's a terrible joke. It's a horrible, horrible joke.
I thought that
All right.
would make a good transition.
Well, we're ending the show, so because I got nothing left.
Yeah, transition
All right.
to outros.
If nobody's got anything else, let's wrap it up a little bit early. Go on our merry way. All right, so let's pimp our wares. Get out of here, Jed.
Well, you can all find me on YouTube at Hollywood Scholar, just regularly scheduled live streams this week with Saturday Night Drive-In at 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, but Adam will get more into which film we are going to be watching.
Okay, Dragon Lady.
Not a lot really this week. Nearly choked on my water before when you were on about the American.
Say the word.
Jeans.
Say the word. Say the word. Titty.
Yeah, that. And then I was halfway through drinking my water, and then you said that, and then I nearly spat it back out again. I have a very bad habit of drinking massive gulps of water. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, Dre.
Yeah. So, oh man, my brain is fried. So I Sydney Sweeney to mess me up. So there's a on my Debrew on the Brew Plays. We're finally getting some regular content. Check out my latest Pokemon Wi-Fi battle that just posted on Friday. Definitely check that out. I had a whole lot of fun. It's a very, very controversial one to say the least. So definitely want to check that out. Also, my main YouTube channel, Brutal Playing Comics. Definitely subscribe to that as well, and follow me on X Twitter at TheBrute00 for all content.
Okay, as for me, it is Sunday. Tonight, we're back with recording our weekly episodes of Wormhole Watch with Duke Devil Bradley Burnett and Fractured and Jay Hitman. I always do that. Fractured and Jay Hitman. We're back with more DS9. Expect that. Edited on Brad's channel every Wednesday, Duke Devil 95. As for me, if you haven't checked it out, there's a new sort of review segment that's making its way onto the channel. Chat made me watch this reviews. If you miss it on the Daily Dive every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, you can see them posted individually. Today, I will be posting the Dragon Ball Evolution review.
Oh, God.
That was
he loved it, by the way, chat.
No,
Spoiler alert.
I did not love it.
Oh my
Better
God.
than the anime, he said.
Oh my God.
And then tomorrow you'll get the Netflix live action Death Note review. After that one. Other than that, for the rest of the week, as I said, every Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, join me for the Daily Dive, where you, the chatter, in control. You make it happen over there. How you want to punish me is up to you. Other than that, a lot of gaming going on. Mellow Mondays will be back this Monday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And next week on Saturday Night Drive-In, Jed and I will be watching the massively underrated and one of the worst marketed movies of all time, John Carter. John Carter. Good movie, made from some great books. Should have been a massive franchise, but hey, Disney fucked it up. What a surprise.
Oh, of course.
So we'll be watching John Carter for Saturday Night Drive-In next week. Other than that, the week will be as the week wills. We'll find out what happens on stuff. Stay tuned for that. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We appreciate you showing up. Hit that like button. Links are in the description below for everybody's channels. We'll catch you on the next live stream video. Until then, take it easy.